TypeScript. TypeScript is everywhere. It is number one, the hottest topic in IT. And in today's video, we will talk about TypeScript. Hi guys, I'm Alexi. Okay, let's start. So TypeScript is a strongly typed language. It's object-oriented. It's compiled, but actually it's transpiled. What is the difference? The difference is the compiled language is basically when we modify and we generate the code from the higher abstraction code, like let's say C# to the low level, let's say it's assembler. This process of transforming the code is a compiling, but transpiling is when we have approximately a similar high-level language like JavaScript and TypeScript. So in a nutshell, during the transpiling process, the TypeScript is actually transformed to the usual JavaScript. Also, the TypeScript is not only a language, but it's a language service. It's really portable. So let's start. What does it mean? A strongly typed language. Let's say we have a variable name and it's a string. Like, let's see, this is the usual JavaScript. So we assign a string, but let's say after a few lines of the code, we try to assign a number. And after that, who knows, maybe it can be a Boolean. As you can guess, it's really hard to determine what is going to be in the end. What is the process of assigning to variable different data types? It can be confusing and it leads to bugs. So strongly typed languages, they tend to have a strict unified type for each variable. So we can create a variable name and we say, okay, this variable should only contain a string. It's not possible to assign a number or anything else. So during transpiling process, we should have an error saying that it's not okay to assign another data type. It should be like only a string, but it's only during the transpiling process. Object-oriented is the same principle that we have in object-oriented languages. We do have classes in JavaScript and as well in TypeScript, but what is more interesting, we have interfaces. We will cover this in a future videos, as I'm planning to record this as a series of videos like basically a TypeScript course. Inheritance is also the same as for the regular JavaScript. JavaScript is actually an interpreted language, and it basically means that when JavaScript is executing, it basically processes each line by line without additional processing before the execution. So it's like the real-time situation when, let's imagine we have two translators that they try to translate how people communicate in real time. This is basically interpretation in the real time. Let's say we have in this example a Fibonacci code, and we want, let's say, to see what is the variable, what is the value inside of the variable n1. So we can do debugger, we can do, in the worst case, console log, but we only can guess during execution to guess the type, or it's kind of a tedious process, you know. In TypeScript, as it's transpile language, so we do actually TypeScript does some work before the execution, because TypeScript needs to transform TypeScript to JavaScript. So during this process, TypeScript can check the types, and basically we can avoid certain errors, bugs in the future. You can play with TypeScript and at this website. There is a playground where you can basically test your TypeScript and practice different structures of TypeScript. And in this situation, on the left side, you can see a TypeScript it's a class video that implements an interface. But on the right side, we are getting the actual JavaScript. And as you can see, the code that belongs to TypeScript specifically, it does not actually appear in the JavaScript. It's only available during the transpile process, but after that we will get the usual JavaScript. So the language and language services. Apart from the language, the JavaScript comes with language service, and it helps to add additional layer of API for editors, so you can get additional highlighting or autocomplete for the code, which actually pretty useful. Portable. It's TypeScript, supports multiple operating systems, and it's really easy to install and use on every machine. So let's see the big picture. On the left side, you can see a TypeScript and the process of transpilation. We develop an application using a TypeScript syntax. If something happens, we can get an error in real time, even before the transpile process, because the editors have access to API, and we can actually get real-time feedback if there is something happening. So if error is happening, we will automatically see it, and it's not going to be successfully converted to a JavaScript. And in other cases, successful scenario, we will get a JavaScript. And this process is kind of a big picture that we will cover in the future videos. So in the next video, we will talk about the basic types in TypeScript. Let's see you guys in the next video. It was a pleasure to record this video for you. See you next time. Bye.